Hi, Jeff Schubert here with MLM Today. Joining me in studio is Dr. Duane Broom, his wife Carolyn Broom, and their daughter Dinesh. They're here to talk about their company, Operation Promised Land. So I'm going to go to Dr. Broom first. Welcome you to the studio first. Thank you for coming in. And please tell me, what groups of people can Operation Promised Land help?
Jeff, that's a great question. And you know, it's really the Operation Promised Land can help all people, to be quite honest with you. As a pastor, I personally have been very effective at talking to other church leaders and other church groups. However, it's very unique that Operation Promised Land, it reaches across every spectrum. We can talk to teenagers, we can talk to retirees, we can talk to people who've lost their 401ks. We can reach people who are currently working and struggling with making the bills and making the ends meet. See what we've done. As a local pastor, there's only so much that we can do to facilitate and take care of the needs of our people in our community. So here's an answer. Instead of going to our government or any social programs, how about if we develop an economic empowerment strategy? And that's what Operation Promised Land fundamentally is doing right now. We're teaching people to be entrepreneurs on a very basic level. Nothing that requires a great deal of output. It does require, as any entrepreneur knows, it does require effort and exercising diligence and persistence. Heard a wonderful person last night just tell me that the answer is commitment, persistence, and never giving up. And so what we're doing is we're teaching people, not requiring or asking our social programs or governmental programs, but we're being an answer to the community at this time. So the answer to the question is pretty broad, Jeff. I personally, as a pastor, I talk to other pastors, but in general, we're talking to everybody.
Now, you mentioned you're a pastor, so is there a religious component to Operation Promised Land? Do you have to be of a certain religion, or is it for anyone?
There is no religious requirement involved in Operation Promised Land. I'm glad you asked that question. You know, I believe that Operation Promised Land is for all people. I can't help it that I'm a pastor, but I'm going to share it with whoever will listen, because I believe God wants to help all men, not just any particular religious group, but all men. I believe this is for everybody.
Now let me bring your lovely wife Carolyn into the conversation. Specifically, who does Operation Promised Land help, or who do you help?
Well, who do we help? We help a lot of people, because what is happening within our Operation Promised Land membership, we have people who fall into all groups, whether it's a senior citizen, whether it's a college student, whether it's a stay-at-home mom. Right now, we have many people who are fearful of losing what income they might have. If someone is on unemployment, they're afraid unemployment's going to run out. If someone is working a job, they're afraid the job might close down. So we are truly trying to help empower everyone before they have that serious need. We have found it's easier to put money in the hands of somebody before they have need of it than to try to help them later, because they tend to be in a desperate situation after the fact. So we are truly trying to help as many people who will listen, as many people who want to put forth effort to change their present situation. Those are the people we can help.
That sounds great. Now, Dr. Broom, I want to throw it back to you and ask, do you have any success stories then of people you've talked to who you've taken from the bottom, who are maybe struggling and are now either super successful or also maybe just, you know, making a nice living?
Absolutely. There's a range. I had one man who he was elated that for the first time in 4 years, he was actually able to buy clothes for himself. Things had been tough in his life. He lost jobs. Before the economy got tough, he was in a difficult place. But he was able to buy clothes, and he was wearing those clothes, and he was excited about it. Another man, he was able to go to Costco, pushing a cart and not even stressing over when he got to the counter whether his credit card was going to go through or not, because he had enough cash in his pocket to make sure that he could pass through properly. So yes, we've had a number of different success stories. Another person bought a car. You know, great, a guy can buy a car, and you know, in this economy, to be able to go out and purchase a car, and he actually paid cash. And that, to him, he was liberated. He did not have any debt because he worked hard, he got involved with Operation Promised Land, and he learned some basic principles.
Those are great stories. Those are great to hear, those kind of success stories. Now, let me ask you, why do you suggest multiple companies?
Well, there's a couple different reasons for that. Number one, you know, we can have multiple products, and if we can enjoy products that help our bodies, we're about health and wellness, so if we can have different products that help different parts of our bodies, that's key number one. Number two, someone else, one of our individual members may only want to be involved in one product company, so that this way they get a choice if they want to be in one or the other, or they can be in multiple companies. The multiple company aspect also, though, as we work as a team, can create a residual income, multiple streams. Instead of having one stream of income, an individual actually, through this process and through our simple plan of action, can engage them and afford them the ability to have multiple streams of income just by working together.
Can you say a little bit more about that? What is residual income and multiple streams?
Residual income, you know, something that the wealthy have learned about is having money coming in from our efforts that is a constant flow and a continual stream. Money that because of the effort that we've put forth already, it just comes to us because of the way it was set up and because of the way we designed it. Pretty much like if you had a rental property and it was actually in a good position where you'd have money coming in over and above what the cost of the mortgage was, and that would become a residual income, somewhat like that.
Great. Let me ask you, I mean, it sounds like there's so much going on with your company. What is your website if I have questions, or if the viewer has more questions, that they can go to it and maybe have all this information at their fingertips?
We have so much information available on the website. I highly recommend people come to the website and take a look at it. It's operationpromisedland.com or .org. That's Operation Promised Land with a D. We have a great deal of information on the site. Membership in Operation Promised Land is absolutely free. All of our training materials and videos are free.
Great. Now, I did mention your daughter was here in studio, so let's throw the camera to her and meet her. And Dinesh, I want to ask you a question. What have you learned in working with Operation Promised Land?
One thing that I've definitely learned is that someone can give you all of the tools that you need to succeed, but if you don't use them, you still can't go anywhere. Operation Promised Land is giving people tools to succeed, but it's also on them to put these tools to use. So that's definitely something that I have learned, is that you can have everything at your fingertips, but if you don't use it, you still will stay stuck.
Now, Dinesh, who do you deal with most of the times? Do you work with young people, older people, people of all ages? Do you find that young people are receptive to Operation Promised Land?
I definitely think young people are accepting it, because right now, with so many different networking and social networking sites that young people really are used to with our generation, so many people are embracing things like this, where you don't have to go to a meeting necessarily. You can do things online and get in touch with people in many different areas, in many different ways. So I think younger people are being very receptive to this. And especially for someone like myself, just coming out of college, you might not have that job coming right out, but with Operation Promised Land and getting it to these multiple companies, you can make money and you can focus on your career outside of that.
That's amazing. I didn't even think of that. Social networking sites probably make an MLM easier than it's ever been. Good information, Dinesh. Thank you. Now, Dr. Broom, let me throw it back to you. What is the message that you were trying to get out with Operation Promised Land? Is it just about making money, or is there more to it?
Well, there's a spiritual component, a personal development component, and a financial component. It's really about restoration and wholeness, to be quite honest with you. You know, we're helping people keep it simple. Right now, people don't need complex. Operation Promised Land is designed to be a rescue mission. So important, though, that people keep it simple. I believe in the direct selling industry. I believe it's a tremendous and wonderful industry, but we gotta keep it simple. The message is, let's help each other. I'm gonna rescue you, and you reach over and rescue somebody else, and let's keep it simple.
That's great. That's going to do it for this piece. I want to thank the Brooms for joining me on MLM Today. We're going to do another segment with them, so be sure to tune in for that.